Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the episode 1 of I'm Calling HR here on August 4th, 2020. This is presented by Employernomics and the PEO Matchmaker. I'm your host, Will Tenney, although it says John Tenney there. We'll get into why I have two names later. Let's see. What do I want to run through real quick? First of all, if you want to contact us, email is info@employernomics.com. We also have a website contact form. And the phone number, 407-490-2468. Please send us your suggestions, your questions, interesting topics. If you would like to be a guest on the show, by all means, just let us know. Our sponsors are, of course, Employernomics and the Matchmaker, and we also include Caraway HR, who is going to be helping us out a lot with this, and that's Jennifer Caraway. She will be joining us for sure on a future show. Today, our featured guests are Tim and Kim Bourdeau, the founders and owners and operators of the Matchmaker, which I've always referred to as the 500-pound gorilla in the industry. And we're going to get into why that is. And then afterwards, we might do a little industry update. But right now, I'd like to ask Tim and Kim some questions. So let's get that sharing out of the way. And Tim, I'm going to start with you. First of all, welcome to the show, Tim. Good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Kim, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, Tim, tell us about the Matchmaker.
Well, I think we'd have to go back a little bit. My thoughts, my thinking regarding the PEO industry, back starting in the early 90s, coming up through the different PEOs I worked for, being a principal in a PEO, I always felt that a single client is a certain PEO is not the best fit for each client. I always had the independent thinking. So what we've done is developed a piece of technology because there's so many facets to a PEO. I equate them to like automobiles. Even though they're all automobiles, there's different features, different comforts, different services that are being provided. So with that, in approximately today 900 different PEOs in the different varieties, we're looking always for what is best, the best fit for the client. So that's how the Matchmaker was developed. In order to do this, there's many different, we call them filters, that based upon what the client's looking for in a PEO versus what the PEO can perform or do for that client. So that's how the PEO Matchmaker was, the process started with that.
So we're taking basically the functions of a PEO broker and automating it and controlling it, putting it into a platform that requires a minimum amount of training, and they can find the best solution for their client according to their client's needs. Is that fair to say?
It is. And you know, this industry as a whole, you know, if you really think about it, and how it should work is exactly that, based around the client. Meaning, if the client is looking for A, B, and C, it would only make sense to find exactly that particular PEO that can perform that. And when you have so many, you have to put a platform together for that to take place.
Makes perfect sense. Kim, I want to ask you, so you're both wearing shirts that say PEO Depot, which I know it was your company for a long time, but now you have, is the PEO Matchmaker actually a separate company or is it a branch? I mean, what's the relationship between PEO Depot and PEO Matchmaker?
So PEO Depot developed the PEO Matchmaker. PEO Depot right now exists in two fashions. We have some agents that still work through PEO Depot as a marketing arm itself. We're hoping to get those transitioned to outside marketing arms in the future. But then PEO Depot exists to support our marketing arms and provide them an extra layer of support if they need.
Okay, well, now you just brought up a million questions in my head, but I'm just going to go to one. Is that extra support like a back office?
You could say a back office. If you have questions, you're looking for a particular PEO and some of the requests we can't put in a filter, but we can help you find that PEO. I've had clients with very unique request, and we can help find that unique request. We can't make the thousands of filters needed to cover every single business concern. So we're there for that. We're there for commission processing if requested. We're there, yeah, to support the marketing arms.
Okay, yeah, that's and there's more than that too. I know, since I've been using it now for what, 3 years since that great phone call we had one night, Tim, which was, I believe, 2 hours long. I like telling people this story that I was on the phone with you and I pointed out something on the system that I thought you could change. You said, give me 5 minutes. And you called me back and you woke your guys up at 9 o'clock, whatever. As you said, you got them off the couch from eating Cheetos and made them fix it. And I was really impressed with that speed of IT service. So that means a lot, which gets me into the next question. Kim, good example of what the Matchmaker does and what PEO Depot does. But now, Tim, I got a two-part question. One, how does it work?
That's a loaded question. Where do you start? It's 18 years in the making, and where it started was as a CRM in a sense, where you can keep all the data and information regarding your clients. It went to now, in a short period of time, it went to now on the other side of things, the PEOs, gathering data regarding them and what they can perform and do. Now, then it went from that to matchmaking with all the different varieties. But in essence, again, the whole focus of it has a lot of features, a lot of things going on in it. But the center core of it, or the heart of it, is this: finding the best PEO to fit that client's specific needs.
So, okay, I'm thinking right now of, say, something like Match.com. You got people who fill out their profiles and then the software matches up what we call discriminates. I think Kim used the word filters, but it's sort of the same thing. You match the discriminates, like the needs and the supplies. Like a PEO can fill out their profile and say, we want what states they want, what workers' comp codes would they want or don't want, what's their minimum payroll, what experience modifier or something like that they're willing to take. So that's their profile, right? And then I'm over here as a broker, I'm putting in the client profile. And now you've got a system which kind of matches it.
Correct. You get into even deeper things, but absolutely all of those plus. When it comes to the filters, there's so many filters. And of course, the system is only as good as the people that are working the filters, the PEOs, and also the brokers on the front end, or our marketing arms. The more data, more precise you can get to the exact specific PEO.
Makes sense. And so the second part of that question, which I do get asked a lot, is, well, how's the money work? Do the brokers pay to be in, or the PEOs pay to be in?
No, actually, there's we make a statement. There's no cost to you, the brokers, the marketing arms. This is a service that is ultimately paid by the PEOs on our negotiations with them, directly with them, where they above and beyond their what they pay their brokers. We as a entity receive a portion above and beyond that. That is not part of the brokers, call it the broker's commission, or increasing the client's cost. This is directly from the PEOs.
Didn't you mention, I think you said to me once, you're doing marketing for them so they can use their marketing budget.
Correct. We become their marketing and sales force.
Got it. All right. I got a bazillion more questions. We can talk. Let's get through these first, though. So I got one for Kim. So what's up next? What's in the future for the Matchmaker?
Well, as you've experienced, the Matchmaker is forever changing. We are always asking for feedback from all sides to make it as simple as possible to use. We want to come up with a software that makes your job easy, makes finding the right PEO for your client easy. It makes your client happy. I equate the right PEO to jeans. You can try on 20 pairs of jeans and you can wear them. But after a few minutes, you're not comfortable. The same thing if a client's placed in the wrong PEO. We want to get them in that pair of jeans that you're just in all day and they're perfectly comfortable. And they're there 13 years later, 14 years later, and they're happy and they love a PEO and they're referring clients to you. And there's no way for an individual person to access that many markets on their own. So the future is many more success for you.
I've got an idea for an ad campaign.
Imagine that.
We're going to get a pair of jeans in there somehow. That is a great analogy, because you're right. You always wear your favorite pair of jeans a lot longer, right? If you're in a pair, I mean, I remember I did a marketing campaign years ago about a suit that didn't fit. But we were talking about PEO master policies for comp. And I said, you know, you wouldn't buy your suit off the rack. You're not going to wear it much. So you need a custom plan. And I like that you're saying we're going to get you the clothes that fit. So the PEO tailors in a way. We work on that one later. Okay. I want to go back to, that's good. I want to go back to you, Tim, on, so we're showing this to everybody now that I can, you know, I was demoing the system this morning to a lady who does social media. And she was fascinated by it. She didn't know there was technology like this out there, but who benefits the most from this technology?
We always hear the phrase in this industry, it's a win-win-win. And truly it is a win-win-win, this platform, because ultimately we're going to keep going back to the client. You know, retention is huge for this industry, as we know, when you get into the profitability and so on. So if you have a client that you find the best PEO for them, obviously they're in the best situation. They're not going anywhere. It's the best solution. So that means retention. So it really, number one, benefits the client. Number two, it benefits our marketing arms, our producers. Why? Because they did what was best for the client. And number three, it benefits the PEO. How is that? Because the retention, as Kim brought out, I'm in Zoom meetings each day with PEOs, and one of the questions that was asked is, how long have you been doing it? What is the longest client you have? And she just mentioned it's 14 years, just over 14 years, the client's still with. Why is that? By finding the best PEO to fit that client, there you go, retention. And that's what the PEO Matchmaker does.
Okay, this leads me into what I want to do now. I'm going to share the Matchmaker screen right now, and I want you to walk me through it. I might turn it over to you and let you share it, but this is my dashboard. So is there anything in particular you want me to look at right here?
There's a lot going on, depending on what each person's, what they really want to look at. You got everything from, you know, over on the left-hand side, you got a tree view, and it tells you all the folders, the process that's going on. If you go into those, you can see, here we are with PEOs. You get their accreditations of all the different PEOs.
I've got 320 showing up in mine.
Yep.
So.
Yep. 320. So you have different other markets such as ASOs and EORs, or staffing firms. They're on the left as well. But this gives you a little just brief overview of the different markets that we work with. From the marketing view, you can do your own marketing, from hot prospects to medium prospects to cold prospects. For instance, if you go back up to the top, Will, and if you go over to the actions button to the far right, underneath your client, there you go. And you can do a scheduler. This is, to keep track of what's going on with your client at all times. You can, schedule phone calls, schedule to-dos. As you can see, contacts, if you have multiple contacts at the location, why you're calling, following up, if you want to invite an attendee on that call as well, you can put an email address in and invite whoever you would like. And, you know, add them and save, and there you go. And that invite goes off to the person. And
I'm not going to schedule it right now because,
yeah,
but that we know, well, what if I clicked on this, it would open up the calendar, right?
correct.
Yeah. So let's just go to the calendar. So
Yeah,
that's kind of how I show it first. I show the scheduler. Come on.
And it's customizable. I don't know if you've ever played around with it, but you can move your little
you can move the boxes around. Yeah,
boxes around and stuff to your likings, what you want first. And of course, we customize it to each user. Each user can, if they want their calendar to pop up first, so they know exactly what they need to do for the day. We show the process of if you go down to the matchmaking process there, Will, on the left-hand side.
Before I do that, I want to show people this one thing I really like about it.
Okay.
Is this little button here is the history. As we can pull up the history of what's been done so far. I really like that. I mean, we can do that in the matchmaker too. Like if I go down to one, I think we got one that's coming on board right now. If we go to this one, we can view the history, and here, there's obviously a lot more here. Here's all the comments between Kim and the PEOs and the agent, who's Michael.
Yeah, we're transparent amongst everything here, of everything going on. My process is if you need to be informed, that you're involved, you're going to see it.
Like this thing too, the cert request.
Correct. They can
nice little warning. Yeah.
So
yeah, this is a nice little option too, to request a workers' comp cert.
Now, if you were to exit out of that there and scroll down, okay, you're in the coming on board. If you go over to your client section, next one.
Right.
And you can see how well they're performing, the running rate, and so on. If you just, you're on the actions.
I'm looking at, oh, look, there's actually a cert for that client right there.
Correct. And you'll see, go back to that client, that same spot. So if you want to know, see how it's green?
Yeah.
That means there's one in there. I mean, green means go in our, meaning good, and red means, we use this, call it the traffic light.
I think I'm green on all of them, huh? I haven't even checked. Let's see, where's the California one? We're not green.
Not green there.
Yeah, we got it. We got to get them green.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's of course you're showing from your view. If PEOs are watching this, their view is different. So they would see it from a different perspective.
My favorite page is this one, and I'm not going to stay on it too long because I don't want people to know everything, but I like the money page. So that's my favorite page. Do you have would you like to share one of the PEO view?
Let me see if I can get into one here.
I've enabled sharing so you can do that. We have about 5-10 minutes left. So
let me get into a particular
until bourbon time. Oh, actually it's after 5. So
I was going to use, I know Kim used jeans. I was going to use that same illustration with bourbon. You ever have bad bourbon? Ooh, and then
not everybody that watches us is a bourbon fan. So well, I wasn't until you got me in. I was a beer guy. I was a craft beer guy, but when you started sending me bottles of bourbon for new clients, and I said, well, hey, and now I love this stuff now. Thank you for this one, by the way. This is the one you sent the other day, Kim. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I still have this little one, which I wish I could get more of these, but they're like gold finding these things.
You can't really get those anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Although now you'd think with the airlines and cruise ships kind of back down, I bet there's more available. We need to check on that. I'm just talking while you're doing your sharing, Tim. As soon as Kim and I are talking bourbon while you're trying to figure out the sharing. So.
Okay. I have to impersonate someone in order to do it. So let me do that. Let me get back over to Zoom. I was going to say, Will, I was a beer drinker too. My whole life until maybe 5 years ago. My son graduated chemical engineer, and as a chemical engineer, he wants you to try different chemicals, we'll call it. And he was Scotch. He likes Scotch. And
he's that chemical engineer.
That type of, and I said, oh my goodness, no. So then he introduced me to bourbon, and a particular type of bourbon. And it's like, oh, I like this. So, but back to the illustration, I have to say this regarding the PEO Matchmaker and what our marketing arms do within it and so on. There's a phrase from Tommy Boy where many of your listeners may have seen this, and this may be inappropriate, and I apologize. I'm sorry?
I just wanted to show him that.
What, the bourbon?
That's in front of our website. I forgot this page. We're actually supposed to be on this page while we're talking, but that's okay.
Okay. So what I was going to say.
You're really going to do the Tommy Boy thing, huh?
Well,
okay.
Because it's so.
Kim, you want to stop him now, or?
Have I ever been able to?
So the phrase is, Tommy Boy said, why would you stick your head up a cow's rear end to find a good steak? Where you could just ask the butcher. And that's exactly what the matchmaker is about, is finding that perfect PEO. Instead of going through the difficulties that so many, I've been at this approximately 28 years. And unfortunately, I've seen so many times people placed with the wrong PEO. And it's not beneficial to the PEO, mainly the client, but obviously it's not beneficial to the PEO as well to have a disgruntled client with them as well. So let me go back here. You share, let me see how, okay, share screen. Let me get here. I hope it didn't kick me out. No,
you're good. Just click on the screen and then click the little blue share screen button to the lower right.
Okay, there it is. Okay. So here's from a PEO standpoint or viewpoint when they log in.
I've never seen this, so this is cool.
Well, yeah, because you wouldn't. You're not a PEO. I mean, not to be sarcastic, but
not anymore.
This is
I gave that up.
This is the PEO's view. Now, when they come in, here it is. Here's the new submissions that are in their wheelhouse for right now for this particular PEO. And they have, we give them, for obvious reasons, just certain information. This is good for the brokers to understand as well. We protect data. So this was submitted to them on 6/17. This one was submitted to them on 7/27. If we take a look across, this one's in Georgia. I assume it's a new business because of 0 years in business experience. And then it has loss runs, this particular one, 4 employees and 120,000 in payroll. Now let's just say I'm going to go the negative route with this. Very simple for the PEO. Come here, not interested. Boom, it's gone. Okay. It's gone from their system. It'll give them a warning. Are you sure you want to? And yes, and so on. Now, let's say if the PEO has a question regarding this. For instance, one of the things they can't see from here is loss runs. That's a little later on, but they may have a question. How do the loss runs look? They can send an email to us and we'll get a response to them that we can view them and send them a response. Hey, they're decent. They look good. They've had this much in claims and so on. Now, let's say if they say they're interested in this, they click here, interested in, and now they're going to get this. It's a GA corporation. Employees live and work in Florida. Owner living in Georgia is workers' comp exempt. Stucco contractor, max height exposure, 2 stories. There it is. They can see what the requested commission is. They can see the breakout state and codes here. Now they can do this. They can say, well, I'm not interested in stucco. I'm not interested in matte, and they can hit decline. It'll remove it from their queue. If they hit accept there, it goes to this. This is the referral agreement. Again, all pertinent information is still kept confidential until they come down here and scroll. When they scroll, they would click. They still have an option to disagree. I disagree. Again, it's as if they decline. It removes it from their queue. If they agree, they click agree. Now it sends them a full submission. Typically looks like in a court application. And so they'll get a court application along with the loss runs at that point. Once they receive that, let me do this. I gotta close this out up here. Once they click interest, it goes in waiting on quote. Unfortunately, we don't have one waiting on quote. They're really good at, the PEOs are good at getting us the numbers back.
That's a good PEO too.
Typically same day. They do a good job.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
You know, we get a lot of, not to toot our own horn, but they love the system. They say, we can just do everything right here. We can input our number. We can upload. We can do everything. It's seamless. So there we are. Then we go down here of things they have outstanding quoted. And then of course, all the clients, which I don't want to stay on that as well.
Some of those are mine.
Sure.
That's okay. But I understand. Thank you for sharing that. You probably don't want to get too deeper into that because you are showing like confidential information and they're not here. I mean, I didn't mind showing mine because I'm here, you know?
Yeah.
I want to mention one quick thing about the decline as well. When they decline it, not only is it helping them because they can quickly look at it and decline it, but it's also helping the agent because it lets the agent know, hey, we took the time to look and it just doesn't fit us. So nobody's having to send an email to check, hey, did you get my accord? Nobody's having to, they can communicate very quickly and very easily through the system.
And one more thing too, Will, as well. We could spend literally all day. We don't have much time, but we could spend, we'll probably get together and do more of these gatherings if people are interested in learning more. Up here, the PEO, they go to their filters. Here's just one filter. We try to make it simple. If you know, green means yes, red means no. This particular PEO, Florida. That's what they want.
Great. And that's the only filter that they have right now?
No, there's other filters. That's the one that I'm showing right now.
Okay. Right. Awesome. All right. That was really good. Demo from both sides. Anything to add to that, Kim?
No. No, like I mentioned, it's a great communication tool between the PEOs and the agents, and it saves a lot of back and forth. If you want to know, hey, did ABC PEO look at my client? You can look in there. It's going to be, you can see ones that decided they were not interested. So now you know who's seen your client and who is, you know, interacted with the file.
Exactly. So this is what I've got as my second to last screen, because sometimes we talk about HR nightmares in here, and we're talking more on mechanics this week, but on the automation of technology, this is some of the best automation of technology I've ever seen. And I've been in the business, well, half as long as you, Tim, but still a long time. You've gotten testimonials. I've gotten testimonials from the PEOs that love it. Getting a lot more testimonials from not clients, but brokers and agents who say they really enjoy using this system. I'm still trying to get more agents in. And that's one of the things we didn't really answer, that is, who do we need to show this to? Who can benefit the most from this? Obviously PEOs can, but on the other side, on the broker side, I mean, I showed this to my CPAs and they were very interested in using it until I told them that I was going to give them certain restrictions. And they said, well, we'll just send all the stuff to you. I go, okay, we can. We can teach you that, you know, obviously we don't want people submitting junk. We don't, as you said once, that there's, I'm going to stop sharing. There's many aspects and facets of what's going on. And as soon as the submission goes in, people start working. And I don't really want to put you and Kim and all your staff to work unless it's got a decent chance of being a client. Why waste your time? Because like you said, we only get paid if it becomes a client, right? If we're working something that has a 5% chance of being a client, that's not efficient use of our time, right?
Yeah, it all starts at the beginning, Will, this process. Obviously, why would you want to waste, and I'm speaking generally to brokers, agents, sales consultants, business brokers, whatever name you want to give them. Why would you waste your time and energy to go through? There's a lot of work. Forget us. Yes, there is a lot of work on our end. But why would you want to waste your time if a PEO will not benefit your client?
That's right. And I like your rule, and I've implemented it myself until I talk to the client personally. If it's a non-trusted advisor, you know, obviously there are franchisees of mine that I trust to put one in without checking with me first. A couple, not many, you know, maybe 3.
Right.
But the rest of them, I want to talk to the client first. I want to find out that, you know, there's a pain that they're willing to change HR systems to fix. Because let's face it, changing a payroll system is not easy. It's a pain in the butt. Everybody's got to fill out applications again. They got to do I-9s, W-4s. They got to do a real new, if there's benefits involved, it's a real mess, a lot of paperwork. So there's a rule that I learned at one of my training systems that nothing happens until the pain of changing is less than the pain of staying the same. So I want to find that out first. I want to find out they got a budget, and I want to find out that the people we're talking to are capable of making the decision. Because that really bugs me, is when they come in at the end and say, oh, we like it, but now we got to check with, why didn't we talk to them already? I want to get all the decision makers on board first. But I digress. You have something you want to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, I can honestly 100% say that I've never ran into a client yet that I've spoken to, and after we discussed and they decided, that's the key, they decided that yes, a PEO would benefit me, that they came on board with the PEO and they were unhappy. Haven't experienced that. Everyone that I've ever spoken to has said, thank you. Thank you for introducing us to this concept, this PEO concept, where many don't even know what it truly is.
I can think of a couple. I mean, there's been situations, and it wasn't necessarily our fault. It was just we put them with the wrong PEO, and it was a communication problem. You know, they were just in the wrong place. I mean, shamefully, we do have to move clients once in a while. I hate doing it, but good example, that PEO you just showed only does Florida. Well, one of our clients has now expanded to other states. They have to change PEOs.
Sure. In that situation where they grow, which is great, which is fantastic. That was another thing I wanted to point out, is that I was shocked. I know the industry says that they got their statistics that say, hey, if you use a PEO, you grow by 7 to 9%, I believe it is. Kim did a Zoom meeting that I was involved in. Our client base, 19%.
It's the right pair of jeans. You get them in the right pair of jeans.
I love that. We're going to use that.
Focus on their business.
Can I use that for Employernomics? Can I steal that from you?
Sure.
Okay, good. That's on tape now. I'm going to mention that. We're pretty much up against the time I want to do a lot. I don't know how long people are going to watch. We're coming up on an hour. So let me share our exit screen. This is our last thing. What's on the horizon? We talk. So next week, I'm hoping to get Jennifer Caraway in here. If either of you two or both of you would like to join us, you're certainly welcome to. I'm looking for kind of a regular co-host. Tim Russell's expressed some interest, but Hey, Tim's good for a lot of things. Sometimes he's a good co-host. So I'm still looking for co-hosts for the show, and of course, looking for any input. I hope you've enjoyed your time here today, and I hope you get to say everything you wanted to say. I do want to put up, because my attorneys told me to do this little disclaimer here. We've given advice here, but we're not attorneys. Are you an attorney?
I am not.
I'm not. Kim, you're on the bar? No, I'm not on the bar yet. So we're just providing legal advice. Now, if you need to find an attorney, we can help you because we know some. But we're still sharing our stories and our best practices. So before you make any changes, please consult your employer attorney before implementing any policies to make sure that you do the right thing, especially today, because things are going to get a little interesting here in the next few months. So any parting words, anything you'd like to say? Tim, anything you want to leave us with?
No, thank you for having us. If anybody has any comments, questions, any information that they want to share, reach out to us.
How about you, Kim? I mean, the jeans,
well,
taking
I
that
love
with me.
Feedback. So any feedback on the software, on the service from any side, I love to get it. I'd love to make changes and improve.
Awesome. All right. Now, people, thank you for joining us. It should be uploaded every Tuesday night. Hopefully we go back to Facebook Live once they enable the screen sharing again. I don't know why that's happening. It could be just a bug with my computer. That's never happened before, but it could be. So thank you for joining us, and tune in with us next week.